Okay, so there are two ways you can record music using software today, and Micro FL Studio is what I'm going to show you. There's MIDI and there's audio. Both have their advantages, so it depends on what you want to do, but they both have specific kind of advantages that the other one doesn't really have. I am leaning towards MIDI a little bit. I think MIDI is more useful, although anyway, I'll just show you. So here in FL Studio, I have an audio track coming through on track 5, which is my vocal, but I'm going to add another one to track 6, and that's going to be a piano sound. So I gotta turn it on. Okay, so alright, there's an actual keyboard. This is an audio keyboard. So if I am to record this audio keyboard, it's going to sound like this. Alright, that's a little just test. So now we can hear it. Alright, so it sounds good. It has a real kind of piano keyboard sound to it. It doesn't sound electronic at all. It doesn't sound fake or computerized. It has a real sound, which is something that like instruments give you. If you have a real guitar, a real acoustic guitar, electric, or a real bass, and you record it, it gives it that real kind of sound that you can't replicate with any kind of it's getting close though with any kind of MIDI, but it is getting close. So for MIDI, I'm gonna drag a MIDI over here. Alright, and I'm going to record something similar. I forget what it was, but something similar to what that was, using MIDI. You see, MIDI kind of, when the higher notes really get weird. The mid-range is okay. But the benefit is that it does this, okay? MIDI, when you record MIDI, it's going to come in as a piano roll, all right? So that's the really big benefit of having MIDI, is after you record and say you hit a wrong note, you can move it, okay? So that's the benefit of MIDI. When you record audio, like this here, this is an audio one, when you record this and you hit a wrong note, you're screwed. You can't fix it at all. You have to re-record that entire phrase or entire song. It depends on what you're doing, and it's kind of hard. So you really have to be a good musician, which is also a good thing, I think. So having the fact that like the pressure's on and you have to play the right notes makes you a better musician. But you know, if you use MIDI, which is this, and you hit a wrong note, so say you want to hit, so these, see how they're lighting up, but you accidentally do that. You hit this, or you hit this, or you hit a wrong note, you can move it. So this one you can move it, all right, to wherever you want it to be. Now you can also quantize these. So in audio, when you're recording with a metronome, you can kind of stay on tempo and stay on rhythm and beat, but it might not be perfect, all right? There might be little minor, you might fall off, you know, with human error. So MIDI though, if you fall off on human error, you see like this note right here, it's a little bit in front of the downbeat on that bar. So it's a little bit in front of the downbeat. What you can do is come up to this toolbar and you can quantize it. So now it's just automatically lined up. So that's cool. It definitely puts it right on tempo. That's something you can't do with audio, but you can do with MIDI. So I think the Perks, shout out to Perks Coffee House, or Good Coffee House in San Marcos. I actually have a song. That I wrote in the coffee house, but anyway, and it's called "Chillin' in Perks Coffee House." But the perks to audio are that it sounds very good. It has a real tone. No matter how high you get, it's gonna have a good sound to it. So that's really the benefit of having audio. It sounds good. It sounds real. But the benefit of having MIDI is that you can correct wrong notes and you can quantize the notes so that they can fall directly on the downbeat. If you're doing any like piano or guitar sounds, I definitely recommend using audio and actually recording them. But obviously, if you're doing synth, you want to use MIDI. You can't play a synth out of an electric guitar. So if you want to do like drum and bass sounding synth, it might be a little loud, but I'm gonna bring this up one more. Like sounds like that, you have to have MIDI on sounds like this. So that's one thing. So audio sounds better no matter how high or low you get on the octaves and on the keys. But MIDI is able to be quantized and to be able to correct wrong notes. So, peace.